All right, welcome back to the pod. Coming off mock fights 3, fantastic performance. It was the most exciting fight of the night, absolutely. Anything you want to talk about before you jump into it?
I don't think so.
Well,
I'll let you guide the conversation.
I'll do my best. No guarantees, but so training up to the fight, everybody knows you've got a grappling background. You did really well in the tournament. We showed some of your stuff off there, just catching girls up by the arm. If people were betting, I think a lot of people were thinking about that for this fight. You were able to kind of sneak in like a little bit of 15 minutes here, 30 minutes there, get a little bit more MMA training on the menu. Did you do anything else that I didn't see? Were you like smacking anybody in grappling class?
No.
Should have been.
Yeah.
Might have thought about it.
Smack somebody at a concert.
Yeah, that was you. Pretty good stuff. So we basically just added a little bit of basic MMA in, using punches to cover takedowns, just generally getting the gloves on a little bit more. Not trying to overload the training schedule because grappling is the focus, but is a good fight to train for. I think there's definitely a future where you guys clash again. And there's a couple things that we'll talk about during the fight, and kind of I always like to give like a little bit of homework moving forward.
Yeah, I think a rematch would be fun if I can like actually train for it more and practice defense.
Yeah, I think getting you to fit into some of the striking classes would work.
Yeah,
it's like when you go to school, they don't just give you all like math for 8 hours a day. You've got a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I think that would help for the striking defense. And then there's 2 specific drills that we'll need to add in, because like every time we do something, whether it's filming or a podcast or a fight, we always want to like look on, okay, well, how can we improve? And that's where we're going. But so we'll jump into this. I think it's like the 3rd or 4th fight of the night. Mel was actually helping aim the cameras, and he's part of the reason why we still have this footage. Zach knocked over the other camera, so luckily I had 2 cameras going and things worked out. So how are the front kicks? She's throwing some teeps in there. What are you thinking? It was a little bit more stiff than I would want, but...
Yeah, anytime I threw a punch, she kind of just threw a kick back at me, and I wasn't exactly sure how to deal with it, just because I'm new to striking.
It's a little funny that she was so well known for the back fist, so we trained for that a little bit.
Yeah, she didn't throw any.
Because she was worried about getting taken down. Which actually, I think the back fist is a good way to keep someone off of you. So what I would say here is more time in the gloves, of course, but using your gloves to hide your eyebrows. When you punch, keep your other hand up, and then when you punch, other hand up. That's going to be helpful. What I'm seeing is it's more of a constant pressure. That only works if you can back someone up to a cage. Since we only have a half cage here, you'd have to use your footwork to corral her and get her back towards the cage.
Yeah.
And we're getting that a little bit. And then with the pressure, instead of a constant pressure coming forward like we talked about, more of a you're out, you make them feel like they're getting impatient, and then you can kind of sprint in and really, really fluster them and push someone up to the cage. So we'll definitely have to train that more.
That's definitely good to know for next time.
Yeah, we'll just literally do that. I'll put gloves on, and I'll basically do what she's doing and have you kind of crawl me back. Yeah, you hear Ja.
Yeah.
So when you come forward, you're always going to get more on a punch just because you're moving forward.
Yeah.
But the other one is, if you look at their eyes, your chin's up and your nose is up. So everything that touches you, it's more likely to get your head sent back. You're going to feel everything more. What you want to do is stare at the logo on the chest. That way, if a punch comes in, it's going to kind of glance down you instead of just catching you every time. So we'll work on that. Didn't see. I think you threw like maybe 1 leg kick.
Yeah, my kicks aren't great, but also my back being a little messed up right now. Trying to slip punches was painful. Trying to throw a kick was painful.
Makes sense.
So
Definitely cheaper.
I wasn't in the best shape for this fight.
I think you mentioned if you weren't doing the mock fight, you probably would have taken the week off after the tournament instead of this. So we'll definitely have to work on that. Give you some rehab to make that back feel better. Yeah. But we're getting close to closing out the first round. You're surviving. You're in there. She had the best footwork of the night, hands down. I was giving a lot of people a hard time.
Yeah.
Just not staying there. She's crossing her feet a little bit. That could be opportunity for you to get a takedown in there. I know it's a lot harder with the boxing gloves on as well for the takedowns.
But so if I could practice more grappling with gloves on, I think that would be fun and helpful.
Yeah. There's a good chance that I think we get Tanner into some of these. Because we talked about it a little bit last month, and then I think he was supposed to be out of town for this one, but then he was there. I was like, I think if we just get gloves on him and just do a couple little MMA drills, like wrapping the hands when you're in guard, protecting.
I'd love to see Tanner do one of those.
That'd be an entertaining fight. Because if he can just do I don't know if you've watched the old Hoist Gracie fights, like UFC 1, where he kind of comes in and just does like the Gracie stomp. It's basically just a way to close the distance. If Tanner can get a body lock on somebody, I think it's all good. But we'll just have to see, what takedown cardio he has. I haven't seen his takedowns. I think a lot of times because he goes with guys that are a lot bigger than him, you want to avoid those takedowns because you're just, it's an injury kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean he doesn't have them. You never know. And he's got good grips. When I rolled with him, it felt like going with a rock climber. He just had those kind of rock climber grips. I was like, okay. All right, round 2, coming out. They touch gloves. We're getting into it again. Did they tell you anything in the corner that was helpful?
I had like 3 different people yelling 3 different things at me, and I was telling them that was too much all at once, so I wasn't able to really take any of the information. I just had Richie yelling, like, walk through the punches and go for a takedown.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
You get to beat up.
Yeah, I did get to beat up.
A little bit. But we learn.
Yep. That was learning. I won't do that again. We'll do better next time.
How much were you feeling that front kick? We definitely saw the elbow go in, and that was there. I know you're waiting for that kick to time it. Super close on the takedown here. I think Shay's able to back out, keep her feet going.
Honestly, the kicks didn't seem that bad. It was more the punches that were kind of throwing me off.
Makes sense. Yeah, shoot. That's up. Rich actually wanted to call it after his second round.
Really?
And I was like, bro, you're here. He's like, I'm going to throw up on. So that's when I went over and opened the trash can. I was like, throw up there.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, brother, you're already here. You're going to feel bad. Oh, here we go. Big takedown. So she pushed into the cage, double leg. I know. This is actually Mel saving it.
That's good.
And then in post, I went and zoomed in. But huge takedown. Fantastic here. I would like you to get your head out as a priority because you can get rolled if she knows.
I was trying to, but she had it like wrapped a little bit.
The body shots were good. I like it. If we can get the head out, I'd like you to go body, then go to the head, then body, head, and just keep doing that. I don't stop fights for TKOs because people aren't going that hard.
Yeah.
So if you really want to get them out of here, you're thinking a submission. What was your game plan here? What are you thinking?
I think I was trying to get my leg out, but I know that's not like really essential in MMA.
Yep. Sometimes keeping the half guard gives you more control.
Yeah. I was just hoping I could like maintain top pressure and like get some sort of submission. But I think
I need to get away where I have like the timer on the thing. Like, I'm gonna find a way to get that to make that happen. But we'll get there. So how are you feeling? How confident were you feeling in the armbar?
I had it. Like it was, if I really wanted to like fully send it, I could have. But I didn't want to risk anything. Like it's not a super serious fight. I didn't want to rip anything.
Yeah, I totally get that. That's why I was watching so close because it was so extended. At what point did you feel you had it? And like, oh my God, when she flipped,
right before she flipped over, and like as she was flipping, it felt like if I really wanted to finish it, I could have.
Yeah.
But I also wanted it to go to a third round.
You did want the third round.
I wanted a third round.
I also had to point out, like when you ran back the corner, like it's like when you bring your daughter to dance. Like, yes, mommy.
I was excited.
That was hype. That was so good because it completely changes the momentum of the fight. The first round. When you watch a fighter do that, you can tell the fighter's like, oh, is it 3 rounds of this?
Yeah.
And then you get a takedown, and you're like, oh, I got skills. I got this. Yeah. Very exciting. Obviously the loudest part of the night, actually the Eric rolling back. Yeah. That was actually the last part of the night.
That was great.
I had to go back on the Eric Rollo and I had to edit.
I saw you posted just that. Yeah.
Well, I posted it once, and then I realized he popped the mic so bad that it would like blow someone's ears out.
Yeah.
So I went back and had to re-edit and like take the audio down, I think 4 times.
Oh my gosh.
To get it to not pipe.
That's crazy.
But
I saw you posted just that.
Well, I posted it once, and then I realized he popped the mic so bad that it would like blow someone's ears out.
Yeah.
So I went back and had to re-edit and like take the audio down, I think 4 times.
Oh my gosh.
To get it to not pipe.
That's crazy.
But so fantastic on the armbar. One thing I would add is, let's say we're talking about a realistic scenario. You always hear about like someone on like PCP or someone, or just someone who's not going to tap in a real scenario. You can pop somebody's arms and legs and they'll just keep coming at you, but with a choke, they're always going to stop. So maybe when you're on the arm, throw your leg back over the head and then try to get to a choke.
Yeah.
In the future, especially if you have like, maybe you're going against a new person or someone that you know is not going to tap. Getting back to the choke is the way to go. But she's putting good combinations here. She's going with a kick, the hands drop, she throws a hand. Pretty impressed. I know that she's doing less footwork. She's got less side-to-side movement. It's still there, but it's not as much as before. She was just so focused. Another thing you can do, if you can't corral her over, is if you walk back towards the cage, she's probably got to come back to you as well. So that's one way to get them forward. Get them closer. A lot of the fighters that are known for like really good takedowns and double legs, people kind of sleep on it, but they forget that usually they throw a good combination and then they go into it. So even Matt Hughes, he's not known for kickboxing, but if you watch, he'll slap somebody with a good hook and a kick, and then he goes right into his double leg. Same thing with Khabib. Khabib knocked Conor on his ass before he shot in. Because one other thing that we need to work on is giving you a shot fake, and then a punch, and then a real shot. And people that know that you're going to do the fake, that'll still work on them. Fake a shot, throw a punch, and go right into your takedown. Just give you some more options. Yeah. That way you don't feel like you just have one card and you're just kind of like trailing a little bit.
Yeah, I think I'll definitely like feel better by the next fight. Like, I'll get more combinations that I'm comfortable with.
I'm thinking that it's probably Shay and Sage standing only for the next one. And then the following one could be you and Shay again in MMA.
I'm not going to do the one in October. So I'm competing in jiu-jitsu at the end of October.
We'll figure it out. So, for September right now, so coming September or October. We could skip one and figure it out. And that way you get like 1, 2, maybe 3 months to train there. But yeah, that's fun. So talk about this. What exactly is going on here?
I know I was like trying to wrap the legs like that wasn't really doing anything. Kind of, I was very tired at this point.
For sure.
I was hoping I could flip her around, but that did not happen.
I was actually pretty impressed at her ability to use the cage and really lean in. Every time I taught all those like wall humping drills, she would always stay after class for like 30 minutes and just like ask 30 minutes of questions and like drill it extra. And so maybe we're seeing a little bit of that in there, but I was actually pretty impressed with that. Easily fight of the night. That armbar, if you wanted it, you definitely could have had it. I would just say, like, you know, when you're on the arm, if you take the leg off the head, then you're kind of on the back, which is the opposite. I think Scott showed the drill where if you're on the back, you can go to the armbar. Yeah. So it's the opposite. Yeah. So if you ever get that, whether they're face up, face down, etc., and you just don't want to take the arm for whatever reason, you take it off and go back for the choke. Not the easiest thing to do with big ass boxing gloves on.
Yeah, I definitely need to drill that one more. I've done it like a little bit in the past, but I'm not super comfortable with it. Yeah, that's something I need to get more smooth.
The same thing with like, you know, if you get a good heel hook, you're going to get to the time that you're going to train with somebody who's just like a straight idiot, and you're like, this guy's like, I'm not going to pop someone's knee in a gym. Yeah. So you want a transition. Okay, well, let's go somewhere. Use the heel hook to maybe sweep them or get somewhere else, or you know, do a cutter that they're going to respond to a little better. So, okay, so the next thing on the menu, obviously, you're taking a little bit of time off for the back, letting things heal. That makes sense. Even if your back wasn't spicy. You know, people don't always have the foot on the gas the entire time. You know, in weightlifting, you periodize, so you want to have some time where you're resting, recovering a little bit. Yeah. Just like any fighter coming off of basically a fight. So you did the tournament, you did that. You're doing what, 1 week off? Trying not to go crazy.
Yeah.
Are we going to see you in the news?
Maybe.
Fair enough. And then is the next thing on the menu is that October?
And I think after that one, I want to like start to do a little bit more striking than I have been doing.
Yeah, you definitely got the option. You know, part of it is what's available to you, what tournaments are coming up. But if you ever feel like things are getting stale, you could always go Jits tournament, then MMA thing, then Jits tournament, then MMA thing, and then it always kind of feel fresh to you.
Yeah,
as another option as well. Anything else on the horizon?
I think that's about it.
Yeah. Did you prep anything for this interview?
No.
Oh, that's so funny.
I'm more nervous for this one. I get to practice everything I say.
Just don't think about anything. Just. I'm a little disappointed that I didn't have post-fight interviews. Half of that was forgetting, and half of that was having a lot on the plate already. I had one of my friends that was going to come in, and I was going to make him do that. But it's probably going to be these, because I'll have the stream will not have the microphone, and then the recording will have these lapel mics, and I can have the commentary guys wearing them, and then when it's time, when the commentary guys can take it off and just go.
Just like hold it up to.
Yeah. I sounded very dumb. I don't know if I can pull it up because I don't think I have Facebook on this, but I did. Maybe if I really want, I might edit it into the video. But my first fight, I had a post-fight interview, and I was so out of breath the entire time. Like it went the whole distance. It was a good fight, etc. But the entire time, like, I want to thank all my family and friends from Raleigh, Chapel Hill, all the people. It was all right.
That's great.
But it's fun to think about that. But so. What do you think we could add to? What do you think's going well with the mock fights? What do you think could be an addition, a change, whatever? Any thoughts, basically?
I don't know. That's too on the spot.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to bring more family and friends in and just kind of make it more of a community thing. I know Scott wanted to have more of a community members night kind of stuff.
I like the idea for the post-fight interviews. I think it'll be terrible, but it'll be fun. I think you have to enjoy the terrible phase of all of it, which makes it more fun. But also just like if you watch someone fight, like if I go watch two sports teams do some sport, I'm decently into sports, or at least I used to be. If you don't have any connection to them, you're like, all right, there's two people doing sports. Okay, cool. But if you get more of the story and you can just get in someone's face and like, all right, hey, so how did you train for this? What was the game plan? How did it go? What were you thinking? And this and this and this. Yeah. I think that would definitely be more next level stuff. The commentary was very light on this show. It was a little bit better on the second show, even though I lost all the commentary. Yeah. I think part of that was just because Mel was focused so much on the camera. So I'll have a better camera angle. Instead of shooting from the side, I had reasons for that. I'm going to shoot from the long way, or maybe do two different angles. And I don't want to drive myself crazy with editing it, but we can definitely improve. Yeah, I think two angles would be helpful. I think for just the moments where someone's straight off screen, but I think if I shoot from the gray mat coming into the black mat, I don't think there's going to be a missed angle. Everything. And I was talking to Ja as well. I'll probably move the heavy bags up and tighten it off even more and make it more of a square instead of me shoving people in mock fights too. When people got up to the edge, they weren't close together, so I could just shove them back in there and say, all right, stay in range. This time everybody was so close together on the edge that if I shoved them in, I would shove them into a punch, so I wasn't able to police that well. Yeah. And so I got to move the bags up, but at the same time, maybe I'll do 2 rows of bags. 1 row of bags for the space, and then 1 row for people to sit. I'm not gonna stress about it, but I'll figure out a better solution. Yeah. Yeah, that'll do it. Anything else? I think that's it. All right, that'll work. Boom. Oh, I gotta hit record. God. You waved your hand at it.